So you're thinking about moving to Queens, New York? In this video, I'm going to show you around Laurelton, Queens. I'm going to show you 3 different homes in 3 different price points. One in the $500,000 range, one in the $600,000 range, and one in the $800,000 range. And I'm getting after it right now. If this is your first time to this channel and you want to know everything about living in Queens, New York, then subscribe below, tap the bell for notifications so you can be the first to know about the car market in Queens. My name is Cornell Smith with DHP Realty. We get calls and emails every day from people just like you looking for help on making their move to Queens, and we absolutely love it. Whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, feel free to give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. All the information is in the description below so we can help you make a smooth move to Queens. So as I mentioned before, I'm in Laurelton, Queens. Laurelton is a neighborhood in the southeastern section of the New York City borough of Queens. So Laurelton borders Queens neighborhoods I did vlogs on, like Cambria Heights, Rosedale, and Springfield Gardens. And Laurelton also isn't too far from neighborhoods I did vlogs on, like Jamaica, Queens, and Valley Stream in Nassau County, Long Island. Living in Laurelton offers a dense suburban feel. There are many restaurants and parks in Laurelton. Many families and young professionals live in Laurelton. One park in Laurelton is Laurelton Playground. Laurelton Playground features, playgrounds, handball and basketball courts, fitness equipment, running tracks, and a skate park, as you can see behind me. Tangent, I used to like skateboarding when I was a kid. I never learned how to do any tricks, but maybe one day I'll learn how to at least ollie. We'll see. Laurelton also isn't too far from parks like Springfield Park and Montebello Park, aka Bello Park and Springfield Gardens, and it isn't too far from Brookville Park and Rosedale. Get into Laurelton. So highways and major roads that service Laurelton include the New York 27, the Southern State Parkway, and the Cross Island Belt Parkway, actually you can see behind me. MTA buses that service Laurelton include the Q5, the Q77, the Q84, the Q85, and the X63 Express bus to Manhattan. Laurelton does have a Long Island Railroad train station if you need to get to like Brooklyn, Manhattan, other parts of Queens, or Nassau County, Suffolk County, Long Island. And Laurelton also isn't too far from John F. Kennedy International Airport. If you like to travel, hop on planes, a frequent traveler. So my connection to Laurelton, my family used to, shop at the Big R, aka Merrick Country Farm, Merrick Boulevard. And also when I was in the 8th grade, I used to play for a travel team, AAU team called Higher Ground, which was based in Laurelton. I believe we held our practices at PS 156. Shout out Coach Tech. Oh, forgot to mention that travel team was a basketball team. People from Laurelton include professional basketball player Deron Lamb, former football player Sam DeLuca, brothers, and former NFL players Derek, Kevin, and Ronnie Harmon. American sports photographer Neil Leifer. Painter and artist Marcus Jansen attended PS 156 in Laurelton. Reggae legend Winston Rodney, aka Burning Spear. BMX superstar Nigel Sylvester grew up in Laurelton. Again, follow me as I show you these 3 different homes in Laurelton, Queens. One in the $500,000 range, $600,000 range, and $800,000 range. As I mentioned before, I'm in Laurelton, Queens. I'm in the vicinity of the first home. So this home isn't in a bad location. This home's not too far from Merrick Boulevard, major boulevard in Queens with access to shopping, amenities, public transportation. This area is also not too far from the Belt Parkway and the Laurelton Long Island Railroad train station. So, this is a nice tree line, quiet block, but, also not too far from, plenty of things to do and access to transportation, whether you drive or need access to public transportation. So yeah, showing you some homes on the block before I get to the first one. So yes, coming up on the first house, this is listed for $575,000, 3 beds, 1.5 baths. It was built around 1950. It's about 960 square feet with a 1,466 square lot. And then, yeah, as I hear the airplanes in the background, Also, this area in Laurelton in general is not too far from John F. Kennedy International Airport. If you like to travel, hop on planes. As I mentioned before, I'm in Laurelton in Queens. I'm in the vicinity of the second home. So this area is also not in a bad location. This area is not too far from Springfield Boulevard or Merrick Boulevard, major boulevards in Southeast Queens with access to shopping, amenities, access to public transportation, etc. This area is also not too far from the Laurelton Long Island Railroad train station. This area is also not too far from the Belt Parkway. And it's not too far from John F. Kennedy International Airport if you like to travel and hop on planes. So yeah, showing you some of the homes on the block before I get to the second home. I can't lie, I like the houses in Laurelton. They're very unique looking and aesthetically pleasing to look at. What do y'all think? Oh yeah, you might or might not be able to hear that plane in the background. Like I said, close to JFK. So yes, coming up on the second home. This house is for $699,000, 5 beds, 1 bath. It was built around 1940. It's about 1,500 square feet with a 3,200 square lot. And then I'll show you a little bit more of the homes on the block. As I mentioned before, I'm in Laurelton, Queens. I'm in the vicinity of the third home. I forgot to mention that the first 2 homes aren't that far from each other, and the third home isn't too far from the first 2 homes, though I say the third home is closest to the first home. So this area is a great location. This home isn't too far from Merrick Boulevard, a major boulevard in Southeast Queens with access to shopping, amenities, public transportation, etc. This area isn't too far from the Long Island Railroad train station in Laurelton. And this area is also not too far from the Cross Island and Belt Parkways if you like to or have to drive. This area isn't also too far from the John F. Kennedy International Airport if you like to hop on planes. And this area also isn't too far from Green Acres Mall and Valley Stream in Nassau County, Long Island. So, this is a nice, quiet, tree-lined block, but still close to, a major shopping mall, major highways, a Long Island Railroad train station, restaurants, parks, etc. And a major airport too. So yes, coming up on the third home soon. So yes, coming up on the third home. This lists for $850,000, 4 beds, 1.5 baths. It was built around 1940. It's about 2,541 square feet with a 6,000 square lot. So a nice spacious home in terms of the square footage, size of the home, and the yard space. So yes, to recap, Laurelton, Queens is a neighborhood in the southeastern section of Queens. It's largely a residential neighborhood and has a dense suburban feel. Laurelton, Queens borders Queens neighborhoods I did vlogs on, like Cambria Heights, Springfield Gardens, and Rosedale. It's also not too far from neighborhoods I did vlogs on, like Jamaica, Queens, and Valley Stream in Nassau County, Long Island. There are many restaurants and parks in Laurelton, and many families and young professionals live in Laurelton. And as I keep saying, Laurelton is not too far from John F. Kennedy International Airport. As you can hear, the airplane is going in the background. So yes, if this is your first time to this channel and you want to know everything about living in Queens, New York, then subscribe below. Tap the bell for notifications so you can be the first to know about the car market in Queens. My name is Cornell Smith, eXp Realty. We get calls and emails every day from people just like you, looking for help with making the move to Queens, and we absolutely love it. Whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, feel free to give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. All the information is in the description below so we can help you make a smooth move to Queens. So as I mentioned before, this is my Laurelton Queens vlog tour. Thank you for watching. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Have a good one. Peace.